G'day guys, welcome back. Welcome to Pouring Your Heart Out. I have got something really exciting to show you today. Well, cross fingers that it'll work. I did a little sample earlier today, this little guy down here with the 3D bloom, and it looks as if it's blooming really nicely. I mean, I can't really tell because I haven't unmolded it yet. I have to wait for tomorrow. But it looks from the top as though it's working really well. And guess what? I didn't use any pigment paste. So no cast and craft, no angel white, no white pigment paste at all. I used a secret ingredient. Do you want me to tell you what it is? I'll tell you in a minute. I have put I'm using my Platinum 360, no I'm not, I'm using my Platinum Ultra Clear resin because it's got a longer work time. My resin got to 45 degrees, I took its temperature, and when it got to 45 degrees I've decanted it into my poinsettia molds. I've got 30 grams in there, 2 ounces. I've got another 30 grams, 2 ounces in there. I don't know if I'll need it, but I thought I'll just use it in case I do need it. Now, I have got about 12 minutes before I need to start piping. With this resin, I like to pipe at 50 minutes. So I'm coming up to the 40-minute mark, and I'm going to get everything ready, and then I'll be ready to pipe at 50 minutes. So I'm going to do green and white today. I've got some green glass that I'm going to put into the center. So we'll do that. Do that first, hey? A little bit in the center. And I like using the glass because it doesn't float away. It just sort of, you know, sits where it's supposed to sit. These are almost full, these little coaster molds. Got a little bit of space left still, but almost full. So you need to allow a little bit of room for your white, I was going to say white pigment paste, but your white resin to go in. We'll just do that, and then just give that a bit of a stir. Now I'm basically just doing this just to kill a bit of time. Like I said, I've got 10 minutes to wait, so we'll do this, get it all sorted. If you're using a resin that sets up really quickly, you don't need to wait 50 minutes. You might only have to wait 30 minutes. When I use my Platinum 360 Plus, I only have to wait about 30, maybe 35 minutes before it's ready to use. You just have to get to that sort of thick honey stage. So I think pretty much all resins will work. It's just a matter of getting it to that right consistency, because if it's too thin, your white will just fall right through and you'll get those blobs. So, you know, whether I use a thick resin to start with and don't wait quite so long, or whether I use a thinner resin and wait a bit longer, I pretty much get the same effects. So, you know, you should be able to use just whatever you've got. Should be able to. I mean, I haven't tested all the resins out there on the market, so I couldn't say for sure. But the ones that I have tried, you just have to wait till you get to that nice thick sort of consistency. Leaves a mound on a mound, and it's sort of like honey, and then you're pretty good to go. It's not very scented, is it, that one? Gosh, let's try a bit better. So this, I love this mold that I made. I love the little points on it. It's not too busy. We've got 5 points. All right. Oh gosh, you're not in the middle either. What was I thinking? Trying to get them in the middle. But at least with this, you can move it around. If it was glitter, it would just go everywhere. But the crushed glass, the coloured glass, works really nicely. All right, so that's that done. That is Sparkle Green by Stamperia. And I'm going to put some lime green alcohol ink on the top, and then I'm going to pipe my white. So I should get a nice sort of fresh green and white sort of a look. There's my piping bag. Right, there's my 30 grams of resin. Now, I'm a bit nervous now that I've told you all about this. It might not work. I am using ta-da, acrylic ink. The brand is Holbein, Holbein. It's down there, Holbein. I went to their website and I got it, and it says super opaque white. I will be trying this with other techniques as well. You know, the petri dishes, and I'll pop some in my octopus, and you know, all the other techniques that I usually would use other products for. I'm going to have a go with that and just see what I can create with it. Something new to play with. Alright, so 30 grams. When I did this one, I did 15 grams of resin and I did 20 drops of the white, giving it a good shake. So this one's got double, so I'm going to do 40 drops of white. It's just a twist top like that. Alright, pretty easy twist top. So I'm just going to give it a squeeze, a light squeeze, and count. What was I doing? 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Let it relax and squeeze again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. One fell in before I started counting, so that's my 20. All right, that's it there. I'll show you a close-up of it later. See how it all sits on the bottom? It's not like alcohol ink that floats on the top. It's just sitting there like a big puddle on the bottom. It mixes up really, really nicely. It's quite warm in there at the moment. Still got another 7 minutes or so. I wrote down that I had to pipe at 140, and it's now, well, my time, almost 1:30. So I've got a little bit of time left, even if I have to put you on pause for a few minutes. I'm going to take this white's temperature because I like to pipe at 50 minutes. Let's have a look, see what it's doing. 50 minutes, but 50 degrees as well. Although it does cool down as soon as I stop. I take it out of its big cup. It cools down once I've decanted it. Hopefully you can see there. It's more about the time, so 42. Yeah, like I said, it does cool down as soon as you sort of get it out of the big deep cup. 43.5. If you don't want to watch this, that's fine, just fast forward. But this is what I do. I like to take its temperature, because you could be in a really cold climate, you know, it could be snowing where you are, and then there's no point you waiting 50 minutes. You're going to have to wait longer. It's it's 26 degrees Celsius in my studio today. It's hot outside. It's about 32 degrees outside today. About 44.5 degrees. All right, I'm going to stop measuring it now because I'm just going to wait for the 50 minutes. But as you can see, it's pretty warm. I'm going to clean that little tip with some alcohol. I don't want it sticking to itself. So that's basically it. I'm going to pour it into my piping bag. I'm hoping that the 30 grams will be enough for 4 flowers. I'm just going to do circles, so it should be. I'm going to do circles and then pull the, see, I've got a point there, so I'll pull through that point. It should look nice. So, but yeah, I've got enough. I've got some more if I need it. So that can just sit there. Feels nice and warm. That was my little sample of my green ink. Nice and warm, nice and toasty, not hot. So I was getting ready to put the alcohol ink in, and I remembered that the piñata left a skin on the top. So I'm going to change it up and put in a similar color, the Let's Resin yellow green. Let's see what that looks like. Oh yeah, it's a bit more pale, but yeah, I just remember that one, it left all kinds of skins and things on the top, and I didn't like that at all. So how many have I got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it doesn't matter. Just as long as I get a little ring of colour around. Oh. Because it'll kind of spread. I don't know if that's equal or not. I can use my little stick and spread it as well if I feel the need. Let's check this. Yep, it's still okay. It's still warm. Not too hot. I just want to leave it right to the last minute. I actually need to leave it another 5 minutes. So, or a few more minutes. I'm just going to do a bit of a swirl. Just because that it hasn't really spread all that much, and it's probably because the resin's thicker now that it doesn't want to spread, which is fair enough. You know, as the resin thickens, it doesn't allow the ink to spread too much. Put another drop on this one. I don't know if this one had the same amount. Oh, I wasn't counting. I know I counted the first one, but I didn't count the others. And I got a little bit of time to play with, so just kind of spread that out just a bit. Like so. Because it's not spreading on its own. Hey, it's leaving a pretty pattern there. I like that little design that it did there. It's really cute. So if you put your inks in earlier, your alcohol inks in earlier, when your resin's thinner, not so warm and thick, they will spread more. There we go. That'll do. That'll do. It's looking good, and no skin. Yay. Just clean the top of that with my alcohol spray. All right, how are we going? I actually want to wait another couple of minutes, guys, so I might just put you on pause. Now that I've done this, let's pick up those little bits that I've dropped in there, because it's still feeling good. I just want to see how far I can push it. I'm actually going to take it to 55 minutes rather than 50. So rather than me standing here talking to you for another 3 minutes, I'll just put you on hold. I'll be right back. Right, we are at 55 minutes since I stopped stirring my resin. Still nice and warm. It feels a little bit hotter than before, but still not hot, just nice and warm. So I won't push it any further. Now, cut a hole. Start off with about, it's probably about 3 millimeters. Okay, not quite big enough. Just go slow, don't chop too much off. Okay, now it's probably about 4 millimeters. All right, I'm happy with that. So when you know that it's thick enough, when you sort of turn this and you squeeze it, it just drops. 1, 2, 3, drop. 1, 2, 3, drop. If it's just going drop, 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 it's probably still too thin and you'll need to wait a bit longer. Tuck that away. All right, are we ready? I'm going to try and do, I think, 6 circles on each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just counting to when it gets to me, and then we'll stop. Woohoo! All right, that's 1. Oh gosh. Okay, here we go. And again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm trying to keep it the same sort of distance apart with the lines. 6, and stop. Wind it up again. I hope this works. 1, 2, 3. Just giving it a little bit of pressure with my thumb. 4, 5, 6. Whoops, I'm going a bit crooked. Whoops. Going a bit crooked. Might go around here again, this one. Kind of went crooked. Oh. That one's got a bit extra. Went crooked. Alright, and look, I'm going to have enough for the next one, the last one. Yay. So 30 grams, 1 ounce, plenty. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and stop at the top. And I've got a little bit left over. I didn't want to do too much, like, you know, make them too heavy, because I'm just not sure what this acrylic ink sort of can do yet, so I just don't want to make it too heavy. Just curl that little tail in. Alright, so now what I want to do is I'm going to come in where the curve is and out where the point is. So here we go. In and wipe. In, wipe. Say it with me. In and wipe. In and wipe. In and wipe. And it's being silly. All right, now go the opposite way, and hopefully we'll get a little bit of that green going right up to the edge. Oh look, it did it. Into that point. I'm going to go right up over the top so that I get a proper point. Because I'm not sure what would happen if you just sort of stopped short of it. Whoops, oh. Wasn't quite deep enough, that one. Anyway, still worked. Phew. Here we go again. In, wipe, in, wipe. I think one had a little bit of green left on it. I hope these are going to look pretty. I'm just sort of, you know, after that sort of springtime, fresh kind of a look. Out. Just to the point. Like, I don't have to go right up and over the, oops, I don't have to go right up and over really, do I? But it's best to try and just do it in one movement. I wasn't going deep enough. I didn't think I was going deep enough. Oh, all right, let me get another paper towel. That one's done. Oh my gosh, are they working? Are they working? I haven't even looked to see if they're blooming yet. I'm concentrating on this. I hope I've left it long enough and it's not going to drop. If you get blobs, you know, when you turn yours over and you get blobs, that's because you haven't waited long enough and your resin is too thin and it can't sustain the weight of your white. So the white just sinks down. So you need to wait until that resin is thick enough, nice and honey. This one's fuller than those. Nice and honey sort of thickness. For it to actually hold that white. Otherwise it's just going to fall straight through and you're going to get blobs and then you're going to be disappointed. But yeah, it just depends on what climate your room is. You know, what temperature, what sort of resin you've got. I'm going to go a bit deeper with that one. Just a matter of practice, practice, practice. But write down what you do. Like, write down what time you start, what time, you know, you stop stirring. Like for me today was 55 minutes. And I've written it down in my book. And then if it works, I'll give it a 10 out of 10. If it sort of half works, I might give it a 5 out of 10. And then I can look back on my work and go, okay, this one worked. And these were the times that I left it. And I also write the temperature of my room because I've got a little thermometer here in my room. So I know it sounds very technical, doesn't it? But for me, that's how I need to do it to be able to recreate. Otherwise, if I don't write it down, and then I'll go, well, what did I do? You know, how did I do that? How's it working this time and didn't work last time? Let's give it a bit of a torch. I'm not going to put any heat on it. Like, I'm not going to blow it with the heat gun. Just a bit of a torch there to pop the bubbles. Now I'm going to chuck my rubbish out, take my gloves off, like I usually do, and then I will bring you down for a close-up. Walk all the way around the table. Alright, let's have a little look around here, around the back of my tripod. Okay, so this is the pink one. I'll put you on autofocus. There we go. So that was the pink one I did. Well, I just put a few drops of pink ink. It seemed to work well. And let's just hope that these are going to close up. Hopefully they're going to close up. They haven't moved a lot so far, so gee, I hope I haven't left it too long. I pushed it to that 55 minutes. So I'm just going to have to be patient and wait and see what happens. So wish me luck. Wish me luck, wish me luck. Hopefully this works. Looking pretty so far. I might come back and show you what it looks like in about an hour, hey? I'll try and remember. If I forget, I'll see you in the morning for demolding. So wish me luck, cross your fingers for me. Alrighto guys, it's the next day. They're set. They're probably still a bit bendy. They are, because it hasn't been 24 hours, but I can't wait any longer. I'm too excited to see if it's going to work. So, here we go. Let's get them out. Now, there shouldn't be too many bubbles because this resin's a really good bubble release resin. Like, you don't get many bubbles in there at all. Oh, I'm nervous. I don't want to see in case it didn't work. All right, are we ready? Let's do the countdown. All right, ready? Countdown with me. 1, 2, 3. Oh, shut the front door. It worked. It worked, you guys. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Oh, I can't believe it. No pigment paste. Acrylic ink. Wow. That is just incredible. Look at that. Now, can you tell that that's acrylic ink and not pigment paste? It's so white. The white is so white. Let me do another one. Let me do another one. This is so exciting. All right, here we go. Oh, my little swirl. Oh, after I turned the camera off, I thought, oh my gosh, I forgot to swirl. So I just did a quick swirl in the center. But yeah, that's all I did. And there's no lip because I went right up to the top and domed them. Now this one, I don't know what happened over here. This one hasn't bloomed as much. And there's also a fly. This poor one, it had a fly in it. I came back and I had to pick a fly out of it. He's well resined in there, but yeah. Oh, so disappointed. But like, he didn't do too much damage, but yeah, he did cause a bit of damage. I had to pick him out. But anyway, when I was, as I was saying, when I was looking at these, I was thinking I really piped them quite thinly. Like normally I would pipe them thicker. So especially in this area here, I don't think I piped them quite as thick. Because if you can imagine, like if you start with something that wide, it can spread more. But if you start with something like really, really skinny little white line, it's not going to like spread very much at all. So yeah, I do try and pipe them a little bit thicker. But for these ones, I think I was a bit, I was thinking, oh, I've only got 30 grams of resin. I better not make them too thick. But it's really pretty as well. We just want to look at that half, okay? This half. won't look at that half where the fly was. There he was there. But anyway, because the resin had already started to set and I had to really pull him out. So anyway, that's that one. We won't look at that one. Throw that one in the bin. No, I'll put him over here. It's all right. Swap him over. All right, here we go. Now, what do you think of the green colour? Oh, I'm actually really impressed because if you look carefully, you can see some of the darker green in there as well. This one's probably a little bit more prominent. You can see the darker, like bits of green in there as well, and lighter. Oh my gosh, you guys. These are so pretty. Now, with the stones, I think that they lose their colour a little bit. Like I can see gold in that. I can't really see that it's green. I think the colours actually sort of come off and floated into the green alcohol ink. I mean, they kind of started off as sort of a goldy green, but I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just, I do think that they don't hold their colour all that well. All right, here we go. Now, this one as well had a bit of an issue over here. I tried fixing it, but again, actually, when I was spraying the alcohol on my hands to clean them, I think I sprayed a little bit on here and it sort of went a bit weird. But again, we won't look at that half. So pretty. And you really get that 3D effect. And I love this mold. These two are my favourites. So delicate. Let's move that out of the way. Look at that. So pretty. And I love this mold. Look at it. It's just, it's very delicate and pretty. Very feminine. It's not too much, you know, it's only just got the 5 points and the 5 curves. It's not too much, especially for a little coaster. Like I don't want it to be too busy. So there we go. Now I'm not going to paint the edges or anything on those. I'm just going to leave them as is. I just think they are absolutely gorgeous. You tell me what you think of them and what you think of this acrylic ink. I certainly want to try again. I mean, it's only my first time. Well, I did a little test piece, but I didn't video it, just tested it. But I do think that next time I'll just pipe my lines a little bit thicker, just so it can spread more. And also it'll close up more. Oh, I'm so excited. All right, gotta go. Got things to do, people to see, places to go. All right, thanks again for watching, you guys. Hope you've enjoyed this. For those people that can't get pigment paste, I'll find a link to the company and I'll put it down below in the description so that you can just buy direct from the company, or maybe you can have a look at Amazon, see where you can get it from. Actually, I'll just zoom in on it a little bit so that you can see what it was called. There we go. Acrylic ink, super opaque white, Holbein, not sure what it's how you pronounce it. And then of course there's all that on the back which I can't read. Super opaque white. So yeah, I guess it's got, you know, pigment in it, but it's an ink, so it's liquid, so love it. Make sure you, if you're getting this one, make sure you get the super opaque white. Yeah, I think there was another one. I've got some other colours, but not. Yeah, I bought a couple of these ones. I bought a couple of the big ones as well because it was coming from overseas and I had to pay shipping, and I thought I might as well buy a couple. So this came in a set. I'm going to show you. Hang on, let me take you over. It's probably easier. It came in a set and that leaked, so when it arrived it was a bit of a mess because one of them was leaked, but never mind, they're okay. They were just a bit dirty. So we've got in the kit, we've got violet, naphthol red, orange, magenta, But sienna, yellow, ultramarine blue, phthalo green, that's where the white was that I took out, and then the black. There we go. But yeah, that was the white that came with it. And then I thought, well, if I'm going to use a lot of white, I better buy a couple of these bigger bottles as well. So I did that. I bought 2 of the bigger bottles as well as the kit, because there's no point in buying a kit that's only got a little white in it. And if you're using 30 drops at a time, it's going to run out. So I bought those 2. So there we go. A little bit of info for you. Was that fun? That was fun. Oh my God, look at these guys. Oh, they're so pretty. So pretty. You would not know that that's ink, would you? All right, gotta go. Love you all. Take care. Bye for now.